What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY third-party Transformers thing, we're still continuing on with the MagicHenshin Series from Big FIrebird build, also offshoot of Big FIrebird toy, by the way. And we're looking at the GEMINI wings, number 3 and number 4, and since they're twins, well, doing them together. It's easy enough. We got Pinky, we got Bluey. Nothing really crazy going on here. I mean, like, they even basically keep the same box stuff together. And also, flat out, these are the worst of the bunch, just because their transformation is insanely dumb. Their arms and hands are insanely finicky and tiny and small, and the blue one always loses her left arm. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I thought that maybe yellow was going to be one of the worst ones to deal with. No, these two are definitely it. Actually, though, if you even bother looking at the instructions, oops, actually I tore that one. If you go to the actual instruction transformation video thing right there, they only show you Pinky. They don't even show you the blue one, from what I could see. They actually limit it only to that. They are essentially the same except for color, so even their instruction manuals are exactly the same, with the exception of which one they show you. And yeah, it's thing. It's thing. So I mean, like, even there. So there's yours. Thanks. And if you have them together in the thing, they do come with a single binding little thing here for their two boxes that are the external boxes of these are wrapped in this. You get it. Set that aside. And if you go and you watch the main Taro video, where I break it down on how to get them from the combined mode into their vehicle mode, which is this stealth bombery looking thing, you'll see I was pretty frustrated. Those are supposed to be snapped together. You can see here in the middle, they don't meet in the middle, so something's up there. So they do kind of have this crazy looking stealth bombery thing that has speakers hanging out down below. I think if I had a proper, even like Gundam stand, which I don't think I have one even laying around at the moment, I think that you could easily use this. There's also one of the accessories, which is, whatever this technically is. It does a couple of different things, but it's like a little fairy thingy. Apparently you can insert it here, and it's like a little tail dealy. Saw that in one of the videos. It fits pretty tightly, so there's that. And also, apparently you can use the like slash effects from Scarlet Sonic. So where the twin exhaust thingies were, you can use the opposite end, which is the single peg, and plug it in to a spot on the heel there, apparently. Come on. Get in there. It's surprisingly not easy. It's like strangely not easy, if I'm honest. Ow! Also, these two definitely have some of the pointiest bits. So I guess you could do that. So it didn't even stay on there. But that's apparently a thing you can do if you want to do it. I could care less, if I'm honest with you. And of course, I don't have any of the other ones to compare it to size-wise, so we'll just jump to next time real quick and compare it to our Scarlet Dragon in its tank mode, which is still, it's not 100% cleaned up, but it's pretty decent. By the way, I found Wally. I just can't get to him. He fell behind the review desk when I was messing around with stuff. So let's see if we can get these girls transformed back to their bot mode. Now, these are the most complex and annoying, so we'll do what we can. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this off. See here, 2 pegs, plug into there. Come to the back, same pegs, plug into that. Now, what I was getting at before was that there are clips here, 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 and here that are supposed to engage each other. and lock together, except that they don't. I mean, even at best, they're supposed to engage beside each other and lock into place, and no. So after I get them all apart and stuff like that, I want to see if I can get these two pieces to actually clip to each other ultimately, and see what's going on. So I'm going to start with Bluey real quick. Go ahead and just undo that. I mean, it's not a giant step of the transformation, but it is somewhat important. And then you can bring that up. It's kind of a bow effect going on here. And I believe we want to unplug these parts, which is now kind of freeing the torso, as it were. And then come up here, go ahead and split the forearms. Once again, that happens every time with her, so it's annoying. And then we'll remove that, which we don't need for her part at all. Come down to the legs and just straighten that out. Straighten that one out. She kind of has tiny little, almost like cloven fetums. And yes, the arm is off. It's a thing I can't keep from happening. If I remember correctly, I believe their body, is backwards. Okay, so this is all supposed to be around the boot. All supposed to be around the butt. Does it turn? No. Okay. So, where are we at here? Okay, so arm down. Trying to remember how everybody's attached here. I think it's just the elbow, yeah? Yeah, just the elbow. Okay. And then we need... See, this is meant to flip around and go the other way, but I don't know if I can get it to do that now. Because these things have to be up and out for everything else. So how is that going to happen? Okay. Come up the peg, then spin it around. So that's like a thing, like so. This is plugged into the back, yeah? Okay. And then what? I know this has to come apart and then split up that way. Oop. This I'm doing almost entirely from memory. I looked at the instructions briefly, but unfortunately they don't give you a reverse instruction guide. Flip the torso around. I need to flip the thighs around, which is just rotate at the thigh. Rotate at the thigh. So now she's looking a bit more like herself. Go ahead and finagle that however you need to. I'm trying to remember what we do with these. I think they just become a... Do they become a thing in the middle? No. Actually, they hang down by the sides. Okay. So, it was right the first time. I guess that was something you could do if you wanted to. Alright, so let me see if I can make heads or tails of the arm here. So, go ahead and pull this out on the pin. Extend the arm. Rotate back. And then you can leave that up, I guess, if you need to. And yeah, just the way that is, it just does not stay attached to that shoulder, the bicep area. Her arms are very small and stiff. So I think that's it for at least the blue one. I really wish they had given each of them a separate name instead of just Gemini wings. Like, you know, give them an actual name. I guess one thing you can do with the heel spur here is just, or the actual heel kind of hanging out the back, just kind of do what you want with it. There's nothing too crazy. It's technically meant to be hair, but you also are desperately going to need that. I don't even know if that was all in focus. You're desperately going to need that to keep her body upright, because there is no way in hell she can stand. So let's repeat the process with Pinky. So let's go ahead and unplug these things. No biggie. Go ahead and unplug the bow, just for flexibility's sake. We can straighten out the horsey legs, like so. This one, I think they're technically just meant to be like an RC and Moonracer homage. Like, the only thing that really makes sense to me. Go ahead and fold this part down, like so. And let's see here. Go ahead and pop that off there. Pop that off there. Just kind of free all that up. Remove this thing, which, by the way, feels like some of the crappiest plastic you've ever felt in your life. Go ahead and bring the arm down. Arm down. Man, that's tough. Go ahead and unplug that from the back. She already unplugged herself, so that's a good thing. Go ahead and hinge that out to the best of our abilities, and we just sort of do with all this as well you please. Actually, just like crank it way up. Okay, fix her kind of bonnet situation. Obviously, that's not meant to just be like reaching for the sky. Rotate at the torso. Drop the legs down. Use thigh rotation. Not hip. Thigh rotation. There we go. And I think we're good. See, there was some stuff in there about things like extending and things shrinking. I don't know what those were. And realistically, like, these two took me the longest to kind of figure out initially, because so much of the transformation just didn't make sense initially, and it was just hard, especially getting them into actual jet mode with the way things didn't want to connect worth a damn. It just made it a very unpleasant experience. Just sort of got her arm here. And then once again, you know, it's just like, what do you do with all of this back here? And not to be that guy, but I think there's a reason why they display these mostly on their knees. And I think that reason is just because they don't stand on their own. I mean, look at it. Their feet are essentially non-existent. So you would have to completely rely on their other foot to give them some balance, you know? Like, really get it back there. I mean, even in a dynamic pose, you're not going to get them to stand effectively. And that just kind of sucks. Like, there's just no good way. Like, how the hell are you supposed to get these things to stand? Half the weight of their body is hanging off the back of their head. I mean, essentially, you just end up like that. I mean, there's not enough feet there for them to even bother. But there is one interesting thing we can try to do here. I saw this online when I was looking up info. It's a pretty interesting thing, if I'm looking at it correctly. I think I have it upside down. Which way did it go? And it would have to be this way. I think it was something like this, where basically that becomes like a little musical stand, and one of them was like standing on it like this, more or less. Come on. And this this, which is, I guess, a microphone as well. It's sort of here. Just realized none of that was really on camera. And I don't know. That's just something I saw, which I thought was neat. Do it this way, which makes sense. She can't stand as well that way, but it still works. Maybe this way. We'll set that aside, and let's talk about their accessories, which is about the same. No point in trying to get them to stand. You do get the blank faces, as usual, so if you feel like doing it, you can. It does come with abundance of eyes. Even an interesting set of that, where they have the different colored eyes. I forgot what that's called. There's a proper name for that, and I always forget what it is. And then a set of pink eyes, but no blue eyes. So it leads me to believe that there was a set of blue eyes that has disappeared. I have no idea. I can't find them anywhere. They also come with an H and an M heart. No idea, except for maybe MagicHenshin. They do have holes in the back. I don't know if that's just for the molding purposes or if they were able to mount these somehow. Like, will they peg on there? That won't peg on there. Kind of peg there, so I don't know, maybe. They can hold them, I guess, for lack of a better thing. Sort of like this. The wrist hinges are so strange. They actually go up and out in a way. So depending on how you have the arms, you may or may not have a way to hold stuff. So they can do this. Like that, kind of. Swappable faces still. So that's good. I want to give them... Let's see if I can give them that. I have a spudger here. What did I do with it? I was playing with it earlier. What did I... Oh, it's right here. So it should be easier to... I have not swapped either of their faces yet, so this might be interesting. It's always hard. There we go. At least the very first time to get that face pulled off. Alright, so there we go. Oop, just kind of stuck. There we go. So they can do that. And, let's go with blue face. Get right up in there. Wow, that went flying and then landed right over there. That actually went up, hit the detolf, came back down. By the way, if you ever wondered, there's your nightmare fuel. Okay, so here we go. Oh, interesting. There's some stuff stuck on the inside of that. Might indicate... Oh, that's like a sad face. That's even a sadder face than what I had before. What the hell? Okay, so let's move this stuff out of the way and show they do come with tiny little hands that are doing the stupid little heart thing. No. Not going to use those. They come with the same ones. It's fine. Okay, so while I've got them laying there, shove that crap out of the way. Let's see if we can get these to do the thing they're supposed to and actually tab together. So they're meant to tab together like here and there. It's like, oh, okay. Wow, that actually, it sidestepped itself to do it. So they can do that. They can slab together. It would be interesting to see if these were useful. You see how they almost look like feet in and of themselves? Almost like heels. Like, I don't think they serve a purpose. Although that's pretty interesting that that almost fits there. It's the same shape and everything. It's cool. Interesting. Because, I mean, I don't understand, except for, like I said, the obvious amount of thing in the advertising where these two are kind of always on their knees doing things together. They almost seem like a very pitiful bunch, especially with the fact that they give her like a really worried face, but this one is like a also very worried face, but in a more excited tone, like no. You know, it's a little weird. You know, it's very, very strange. Let's see, I'm gonna try to rotate her head a little if I can. It's a little jammed up. So they're just kind of like this. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I really don't. Let's see, bring in Yellow Lightning. It's not Yellow Lightning, but that's what I'm calling her. Call her Red Motorcycle Girl. So that's the 4 main girls as it is. These two are definitely the superior bots. These are, I don't know, just basically meant to be doing the thing. It would be interesting. Oh, gotta get this way back over here. It would be interesting almost to like swap their faces and give them the opposite colored eyes. And they don't come with a buttload of accessories or anything, so it is definitely an interesting concept. Okay, so that little hole right there is actually going to be important later. I was just looking at it because, I mean, essentially to get them into combined mode, which we'll do in a later video, you have to transform them essentially to vehicle mode. And okay, so let's go over articulation just real quick. We'll use Pinky. I know I'm doing things out of order a little bit this go around, but it is fine. Okay, so gotta get that arm, rotate it down. Alright, so head is on a ball joint inside the head, and then a little bit of a swivel at the neck, so she can go forward and back. Her big bonnet slash ears is annoying. And these things are on ball joints on both ends. That's where it gets super annoying, depending on how you have it done. This whole thing back here is set on a hinge here, and then I think in the head there's a hinge. So you can kind of get her quote-unquote hair out of the way, or up like that. And then once again, they have the big bow thingy. See, it would be nice to be able to just kind of lose this enormous stack of heel that's going on back here. Alright, so torso, there's a ball joint basically for the torso. Got a nice little paint there around her little belly. The arms, what the hell? Apparently are on the same center joint as the head. Is that what was happening? Yeah. Look at this. Arm is connected to the head. But you can go up and down with the shoulder. You can go around, depending on if you're holding in the right spot. She does have armbands. Like, there's little pink painted armbands in there. That's what these fluffy things are attached to, which is interesting. So you could do this. I wish she had some forearm rotation or something, because this whole thing, once you've got all this going on, it gets super annoying. Everything's just in the way. Single jointed elbow. Can do better than 90 technically, or over 90 because of transformation. Thighs or legs are on hinges here, not ball joints. And a center swivel, which gives them a little bit of up and down, like that. And then thigh swivel, double jointed knee technically, and then an ankle joint, which is hinged back here, and a little bit of a hinge there, or a ball joint there. So, like I said, it's a shame that you get these figures, but you can't even pose them, really. Like, they're not meant to be dynamic. It's almost like these two aren't the fighters of the group, which actually really makes sense, given how the rest of them work. So, it's like, you can't do anything to get them to stand on their own, but you can certainly have them kneel or lay down, for whatever that means for the world. And the cool thing is, like, they are the inverse of each other, even with their details. So they've got these little, like, barrettes in their hair, which are reversed. Got the yellow paint in there for the little vents along their cheeks, like a Gundam. You know, she's got slightly more greenish yellow on her. She's got more orangey yellow, which makes sense given the thing. Yeah, just they're more useless than the other two when it comes to their design. Like as robots, they're more useless than their counterparts, which are definitely more warrior related. For thumbnail, I'll probably give one of them the little heart dealy, so that they can do that. Her like weird blushing / nervous face really is strange to me, but you know, Japan is what Japan is. So guys, that's going to be it for at least these girls. And I still got the last one to go with our fun little dragon T-Rex tank friend. And then after that, we'll get on to the combination video, which basically be the inverse of how we started this all. But guys, until then, remember as always, keep on nerding.